which happens to be my office as well. I thought it would be fun today if I read you one of my books, The Great Divide, and I thought I could also tell you a little bit about how the book was made. Now, this is my fourth and last math title for Sylvan Dell. This series started with What's New at the Zoo. It was an animal adding adventure. Next was Subtraction with What's the Difference, and it talked about how people help endangered animals. Then there was my multiplication title, Multiply on the Fly, which I got to have some fun with some really cool insects. And so the last title, the one we could talk about today, is The Great Divide. And I bet you've already guessed it. It's a story that helps children practice division. It's also got animals in it. And the fun thing is, it talks about animal groups of animals and the cool names they have. But let me back up a minute. I have to pull out my folder. I have a folder for every book I write. And here's the folder for The Great Divide. And this has everything in it that helped me write the book, starting with the very beginning. And the very beginning was when I got an idea for the book. I was at a school doing a school visit, and the librarian was handing out these bookmarks. Maybe your librarian has some free bookmarks for you too. Well, these at the top said Groovy Group Animal Names. And it talked about a charm of finches, a litter of pigs, a bed of clams. And so there were several of these bookmarks with these names for a group of animals, like a school of fish, a team of ducks, a knot of toads. And so these bookmarks gave me an idea. Hey, I have lots of animal books. What if I had groups of animals and then they could divide into smaller groups, and I would work the cool animal group name in the rhyming verse? So that's what I did. But I'll tell you, when you're writing a rhyming story, sometimes it's a little easier. It sounds easier than it really is. So what happened next was I made a list for myself of all these different animal group names. And you can see I wrote division title. This is what I'm thinking. And then I wrote these group names. And then I started marking which ones I wanted to do. And I think in the pink are the ones I thought would be really the coolest ones for various reasons. And those were elephant herd, goats tribe, wallaby mob, gorillas band, rhinos crash. You know, names, a crash of rhinos. Doesn't that sound cool? So this is the list I started with. This is where I started, and I thought, now I need to start making some rhyming verses. So I started typing up my story. And here's one of the early drafts. And you can see after I printed it off, then I started editing it or marking it. I mark it up just like a teacher marks up paper for a class, only I'm marking up my own story with ideas. You can see I've circled, there's a lot of times I've circled the word group. I started realizing, it's on another page too, that I was using the word group a lot. Here you'll see it as well. Group, group, group. And I thought every time I read the verse, I'm hearing that same word is sounding monotonous. It's making the story not sound as good. So that was something I wanted to change. I was looking at my problems. Which kind of division problems do I have? You can see I wrote here 20 divided by 8, 16 divided by 4, 15 divided by 3. I wanted each verse to have a different division math problem in it. And I'm looking at my rhyming words. Do they sound good? So these are the things I'm working on, things a writer thinks about as they're putting a story together. So then, of course, I did what all writers do. I took the story to my other writer friends in our critique group, and I said, what do you guys think? And so here are some of the this is one of my friends, Jeff. He marked up some things he thought I needed to work on. He told me his comments here in very small print. He's a very tiny writer. But I took every single comment that my writer friends had and thought about it carefully and thought about how their comments could help make my story better. So finally, after I had worked on it for a while and kept reading it out loud to myself, had my friends read it, I sent it into the publisher, and the publisher said, yeah, we like it. We think that would make a great division book. And so then they sent me this contract, and the contract is the legal paperwork that says, yeah, we're going to publish your book, and here's what we're going to do and when we're going to do it. And, you know, legal papers get long. So I had a lawyer read through all of that, and then we started working on the book. And so I thought now I could show you the finished product and we could read it together, called The Great Divide. And the cool thing is the illustrator, Erin, right here, Erin Hunter, she specializes in animal and botanical illustrations. That's her specialty. She lives in California, and I think she did a great job with this book. And now you can see what you think too. So this is The Great Divide. This is my little introduction part. Like people, most animals spend a lot of time with their family and friends. Many groups of animals have their own cool names. Have fun discovering animal group names while practicing your division skills too. And let's give a couple of examples. Like a group of flamingos is called a stand. A group of fish is a school. A group of penguins is a rookery. Peacocks have a muster. Foxes have a skulk. So now we'll see some other names. 10 baby leatherbacks leave a sandy trail. 5 groups head for sea. How many in each bale? See, and I can work in the cool family name, bale, for a group of turtles, and there's a little practice for division. 12 tiny hummingbirds buzzing on a farm. Hover near 4 flowers. How many in each charm? 9 hungry leopards waking up from sleep. 3 groups on the prowl. How many in each leap? I just think isn't that a beautiful illustration of them waking up from sleep and stretching? It's really fun for an author when you've just been staring at words on a page to see an artist put your words into pictures. Beautiful, beautiful pictures. 12 noisy mallard ducks swimming down a stream. Paddle into 2 long lines. How many in each team? Oh, here's the rhinos I was talking about. 6 rambunctious rhinos making quite a splash. 3 mamas with their babies. How many in each crash? 16 busy wallabies always on the job. 2 groups hop away. How many in each mob? 20 tough gorillas, magnificent and grand, march in 5 directions. How many in each band? 16 shiny river toads in a sunny spot. Gather round 4 puddles. How many in each knot? I think that was a really cool one, that a group of toads is called a knot. You can tell that to your friends next time you see some toads. That'll surprise them. 15 playful elephants looking quite absurd, performing in 3 rings. How many in each herd? 20 stubborn billy goats, lured by tasty bribes, run into 4 pens. How many in each tribe? 14 hungry pelicans waiting by the dock, find 2 tasty fish. How many in each flock? Oh, this is one of my favorite animals in the book. 18 purple jellyfish dine on fishy snacks. 3 groups drift apart. How many in each smack? And that is the end of the book. And then there's some fun things in the back where you can identify the group, the animal names for the groups. It's just some fun extra things. Well, that's a little inside look at one of my books and how I put it together. So thanks for reading with me. It was fun to do that with you.